Marketing strategy. The secret behind top companies you can't put your finger on. Hey, my name is Max. I run a marketing agency that specializes in marketing strategy. Not a lot of people have good insight about this topic. In fact, most people randomly post and randomly advertise in hopes it will attract regulars. However, it may attract attention. It never really pays off as much as it would having a strategy. Today I'm going to go over what a strategy is, how to develop one, and show you how top companies play the game. What is marketing strategy? If you were to ask me what it was when I first started out, I would have imagined a timeline. A timeline formula about 3 months out containing everything I was going to write, advertise, and post every day. However, most top marketing strategies have nothing to do with planning. They have more to do with principles, big ideas, repetition, and objections. Today I'm going to go over how I create strategies and how you can too. But first, before we can develop a strategy, we need something very important. Data. Data is the foundation driving all marketing strategies. Most business or practice owners I work with do not have any sort of data capture, so I often have to start from scratch. You can obtain data in 2 ways. Quantitative data. The definition for quantitative data on Google is measures of values or counts and are expressed as numbers. You can imagine a dashboard with charts and graphs captured from customers technologically. That's quantitative data. Types of quantitative data include: how many sales a specific item gets a month, how many loyalty members sign up per month, how many people scanned a QR code, how many people repeatedly buy the same item a year. This is often the data I examine first in order to develop a solid strategy. However, most people don't have the tech set up in order to do this. So for most clients I must either set it up myself, I charge them more, or they can set it up and I give them my recommended software to use. Most this data is acquired through a loyalty reward program or practice software. You must get the software in order to start this strategy. Qualitative data. According to Google, qualitative data is the descriptive and conceptual findings collected through questionnaires, interviews, or observation. This data is proven very useful and is often where I find the golden nuggets of all the strategies I produce. I most likely achieve this data through handing out postcard surveys or acquiring a group of 12 regular customers and doing an interview. These 2 methods seem to be the greatest way to capture insightful data, and I encourage you to do one at least every 6 months. Principles and a big idea. Starbucks doesn't consider themselves a coffee company. If you listen to interviews with Howard Schultz, he frequently describes his business as the third place business. Third place meaning it's your third home. You go to work, home, and Starbucks. Nike and Red Bull don't consider themselves shoe or drink companies. They both consider themselves sports companies. If you take a look at any piece of marketing they develop, you'll notice they don't behave as if they're in their industry. They behave as if they're in the sports industry. You may think this is branding, but marketing strategy and branding are 2 completely different concepts. Branding is simply long-term communication and graphic guidelines across all platforms in order to be more recognizable. Marketing strategy is something malleable. It's building a place people want to be a part of, even if it's not physical. Most luxury brands build a red carpet world in which you wish to be a part of. That's a good template for marketing strategy. Churches want you to be in a forgiving place. They build their concept of place so well they even invented a new hierarchy within the place. Pope, priest, etc. These hierarchical changes make the forgiving place seem so real. It's almost as if you left reality and entered a different world. That's good marketing strategy. But what do all these things have in common? Simple. All of their decisions are guided by one question. How can we make this place seem too real? This is their big idea. This is their guiding principle. A solid big idea or principle literally forms a new place. That's the difference between you and top companies. And that's the difference between my agency and others. We build a place. Content and advertising strategy. There are 2 types of marketing I perform in my agency: acquisition type marketing and retention type marketing. Acquisition type marketing can easily be summed up by just calling it Mr. Beast content. Entertaining, good cinematography, meant to spread and be shown to others. Retention type marketing is meant to build connection and solidify this sense of place. Now, before we develop each one, I often ask myself, does this business need new customers? Or does this business need new regulars? More often than not, I go for regulars. It's about a 1 out of 5 chance you actually need new customers. More often than not, you just need to convert more customers to regulars. This might involve sales knowledge and sales development. A lot of marketers bicker with me on LinkedIn on how it's not a marketer's job to make su read the bu si ni ss is cht ing sale. But if you wish to develop a solid marketing strategy, you need to take control and advise about the sales process. Content types. There's a bunch of different content I add to my timeline. First, if I'm going for more of an acquisition strategy, a lot of my content will be eliminating competition. So, if I sell tea for instance, I want to convert other drinkers to my brand, right? So I'll tell a story of how someone had a heart attack drinking Monster Energy. I'll tell a story about how there was a roach in somebody's coffee at Starbucks. Since tea is often known as the healthy and safe drink, I'll shine a light on how unsafe other drinks are. I'll post objection handling content. There's a majority of the population that doesn't like the taste of tea. It's dull. It's boring. To diffuse this objection, I'll post testimonials on how it's the best tasting tea in America. Or something like that. There's a bunch of different content types you can post, and I have a list in Notion the size of a scroll, but I'm only going to give you a taste for now. Conclusion: marketing strategy is built through acquiring valid and meaningful data. Then using that data to decide what kind of place your customers wish to be in. Then developing that place so much it feels real. That's the secret. That's marketing strategy.